Hello there, folks. Welcome back to Leeds United. We've got our final two games of the season and our final two games of the series. We'll talk about it at the end, but let's get into the final two games. Let's finish off this season with a bang and see if we can finish in the top half. That's right then, folks. Our final two games of our series and season with Leeds United on the beta. Look, there's lots of reasons why. We'll talk about them towards the end. But let's first, though, play a couple of games and see if we can finish off this season as I hope we can. We changed formation back. A few people suggested it in the Discord, actually, that the system that we were playing with an offset left-hand side striker was actually quite effective. And having drawn with Arsenal, beaten Forest, lost to Tottenham, beaten Manchester United, drawn with Brighton and Burnley, mixed results, but not particularly losing results. I was inclined to agree that the switch-up is probably necessary and, hopefully it's going to work for these final two games against Forest and Arsenal. It's been a really tumultuous is the phrase I would use. It's a season that we've really struggled to find consistency in. You always see these sides that aren't necessarily ready for Europe go into Europe and then struggle and it affect their league form, and we are the classic of that, really. Sometimes these better saves don't always become what you want them to be, and sometimes you just kind of have to accept that. There is a situation with this is part of the reason why. It's a good example. I said I was going to talk about it later. We'll talk about it now. There's a reason why creators tend to do these bigger teams early on, because for short-term success, they are the optimal teams to be. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, be Leeds and see how we could get on. And after that first season, I was really hopeful that maybe we could push on. And whether it be my own inadequacies as a manager or not, I can see the interest in the series is waning a little bit. For those of you that are sticking with it and still watching it, I do appreciate it. It doesn't mean that this is going to mean there's no videos for a while. I'm going to start something new tomorrow or Monday. We'll see how things work out. And of course, Thames is, as I mentioned 100 times, is very much around the corner. And we'll be kicking that off very, very soon. But look, I've had fun with it. I think that's the important thing with saves like this, is that you have fun with it. When you look at the side, you can see where it's gone wrong for me, really. I've made too many wholesale changes. We brought in £100 million worth of players and tried to sort of pin them in to the team. And this isn't the right way to go about things, if I'm honest. This isn't how ordinarily you go about things. But a new game, I wanted to do transfers with different types of players and see how things operated. And this is why this is why you do a beta save. You do a beta save to iron out some of the creases in how you're playing Football Manager. And I'm sure you've done a similar thing and maybe started since the actual games come out on a new thing. Let's just say, let's go out with a bang. Let's pick a team that I think is capable of winning this game. And that's the team that's actually been performing well for me in recent fixtures. So I'm not going to change it round. This is the side that's going to face Forest. Malaya, Mukiele, Lorente, Ungwene, Timikas, Phillips, Guagladini, Onyenka, Trincao one side, Hang Hee-chan, and Rodrigo up front. And I've said every name pretty flawlessly there, and we should carry on before I think the problem is, and you probably saw it if you looked at the fixture screen a moment ago, the consistency of tactics hasn't been a thing this year. And this is always interesting, right? And it's something I can take from this and then learn from it. I think taking lessons from this save and then planting them into future saves is what beta saves, in my opinion, are kind of for, right? Like, I know this year that having something consistent and just ironing out small creases rather than trying to plug gaps that maybe aren't even there is not the way to progress things. It's never really been the way to progress things, but games change and you sometimes change a tactic and that works even better than what you had before. I'm sure you've all experienced that playing the game. Playing a Forest side here, though, who are interesting because they've got a few players there that actually would probably fit into our side. Patrick Bamford, of course, plays with them as well, a player that we sold. We'll pump the fists, we'll get out there, we'll do the business, and we'll come out victorious, is the dream. It's funny, this is the sort of save, I was thinking about it before I started recording, I was like, this is the sort of save that in a few months I will come back to and either have it on stream and play it a little bit, or maybe do like an update video on the series for those that followed it along originally. Because it's a team that I actually think is quite enjoyable. But there's definitely a point now where if I'm not feeling it 100% and you're not feeling it 100%, then it's sort of thing that just is smart to stop at a certain point. That's sort of the job, is to know when the interest isn't as high as it once was and to react to that. But I'll tell you what, Hee-chan, loving life, living the dream playing for Leeds United. I think what I might do as well, I'm going to make this save available to download and play if you wish to play it. So, they'll be in the Discord channel, discord.gg/DoctorBenjy. There's a Leeds section. In that section, I'll be pinning this save file to be downloaded for whoever wants it, really. So, if you want to continue the journey and then talk about it in the Discord, then that's the thing to do. Of course, you can tweet me all your progress as well with this side, as Forest are giving in here. Are Forest in like relegation danger? No, they're probably fine. A lot of the league has actually been sorted out already, really. There's still a battle at the top for first between United and Liverpool. United were quite strong on this beta build, it must be said. Whether they were too strong, I guess we'll see going forward, because the reality is in real life, United aren't that close to winning a title, in my opinion, but I think lots of people have had it where they're really quite dominant. Liverpool and City, you can kind of expect that, but with United, it does seem that their team is very well put together. I think the Cavani factor is quite a big factor, but 2-0 here, cruising. Just nice to be winning games, viewers, chatting, having a lovely time, and I'm really enjoying the game. I think that's important. Like, even though the save isn't necessarily working out as I would have expected, like, I'm actually think the game is very fun to play. So the way you can build certain tactics and adapt certain things is actually really fun, and to my detriment in this save. But on Twitch, I've found some real success with it. So hopefully that's something I can continue with. I'm going to talk about it because it is the next big main save. I've mentioned it a few times. If you're unaware of what Thames is, this is the first series you ever watched. I feel like this is probably a good video to explain what it is. In 2018, I created a team called Thames FC that are based in London. They are a team that are based upon a side that existed 80, 90 years ago now and had the biggest capacity of ground of any stadium. They could have realistically had 120,000 people in their ground. They ground shared with what was a race track for dogs, I think, at the time, another sport. And they had a football team that was built upon that, and we sort of rebuilt them and made the football team the focus all these years on as Hechan scores again. And what I did was, in 2018, I took them from Tier 10, started them back into the league system, and worked them all the way up to the Premier League. And, yeah, there's going to be a twist, of course, this time around. We're not going to do exactly the same thing again. But you'll see, and I'll be revealing more information on that in the coming weeks. There's going to be a video very, very soon, actually, about the history of Thames FC. And by history, I mean the history that I created with them to give new people an idea of what's happening. So, yeah, do check that out and do get involved with that. Full time here. I've not really done anything, which is probably a key to the future successes of my sides. Yeah, a 3-0 winning against Forest, barely any highlights. The highlights we did see were very impressive, and everyone has had an absolute stormer. So, yeah, wish they'd done that about 6 months ago, but here we are. It's nice though. I feel like my relationship with you guys watching has got stronger and stronger over the years. So I think most of you will watch this video, and some of you will be frustrated that this isn't carrying on. I totally understand that. I get it. Like, there's been TV series that I've watched that I wish continued a little further, but I think most of you understand that with content creation, as long as I'm enjoying it to the level that you're enjoying it and we're enjoying it the same amount and it's at a high level, then we carry on. And I just get the feeling with this that there's a little bit of to it. And that's fine. I think you, as an audience, you are totally entitled to feel like that. And I'm not just going to upload it and go, you must consume this. You must consume this. If I'm aware, again, there'll be lots of you watching that enjoy this, and I'm so thankful for you people that continue to enjoy it and find some joy in my misery. But yeah, I feel like the best thing here is just to be honest with you and to say we should stop this and start something new that I think you'll enjoy even more. So that's the key to this, really. We're having a heart-to-heart here in the final episodes of Leeds. I didn't think this would be happening. Also, it's 20 episodes, so it's a lovely round number, which I think we can appreciate. We had a great live stream doing this series as well, which will be fond in the memory of you lot suggesting names at a frantic rate. So if we win this final game, we probably still can't get in the top 10. Excellent. We're a shambles. We are a shambles. All right, one change for the final game of the season. We're going to bring... I think Gelhart's definitely going to start. Rodrigo's got an injury, so he's going to drop to the bench. Cute Miners is going to come in. This side, for whatever reason, has started to perform at levels that I wasn't really expecting. I think Gelhart and Hechan probably switching around is better for everybody. Timikas certainly prefers the work rate of Hechan there. Right, let's get into it then. Leeds have got some really good youngsters. Gelhart is one of the very best available. So, yeah, he's going to play through the middle for me. Lots of potential with him. Again, if you're doing a Leeds save, or if you want to continue this one, definitely get some of these youngsters in the Leeds side into the side. I suspect most people will take over this team and sell most of the players that I brought in hope to fund their own transfers, which is kind of what I did, but with their original team. And despite the fact I've said that you shouldn't really change things too much, we will ignore that and continue to do as we please. Calvert-Lewin plays for Arsenal, which I do find really fascinating. Tagliafico is in there as well as Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So Arsenal definitely changed their side round a little bit. Arteta's been spending the money. Zinchenko, I notice, is also there. No Aubameyang, no Lacazette. I don't know what else has happened, but they've made changes. Now, after a really good result against Nottingham Forest, hopefully we now continue it with a good result against Arsenal. We played them very, 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 very recently. Hopefully we can do the business against them in this one. Torreira, I notice, is back after having a loan spell out of Atletico Madrid. So welcome back to him in this side. Arsenal are securing fourth position. Everyone else in the league, there's a battle at the bottom, actually. Sheffield United, Fulham and Brentford are battling relegation. And of course, there's still that battle, I believe, at the top. We'll just skip through this and take a look. Liverpool and United still battling for that final space. I think the European spots look pretty wrapped up. I think Villa have got the edge over Southampton, is what I just noticed there. But it's whether we can continue in this system, and this might give a few of you an idea for the future of this team. As the ball goes out to Mukiele, shot goes in. Pardon? I think it's hit the bar on the post and come out and not gone in. Loftus-Cheek on it for Arsenal. That was Zinchenko. That's offside. It's a really bizarre way of scoring a goal as it's sort of flicked forward by Loftus-Cheek. I don't think it's counting. The assistant has stood completely still as I'm assuming it's going to be ruled out for offside. I don't know how far off this was because Arsenal, their players celebrated like it wasn't offside by a lot at all. They were very convinced as it's flicked forward. It's very, very close. I don't know if you could tell from the celebration, but I feel like there definitely was a sense of we've scored there and no one else agreed. We could maybe get to 11th. I'm just seeing there. We can't fall any lower than 12th. We are, as I described earlier in the series, viewers, we are very mid-table. Saka running forward for Arsenal. They are making moves, viewers, to the edge of the box. Thomas Partey shoots just over. And at half-time, then 0-0. We're toe-to-toe with them. I mean, we're doing all right. And we saw from last season that we are a side that can compete at a similar level to Arsenal. I think we've just not had the run of it. I think we could be. I think if the season had gone differently and just there's some results that were so close that just didn't go our way, or we lost 1-0 in silly little scenarios, there's a potential for us to have been in those European places. I just noticed that Phillips is struggling. We've got Koopmeiners on the bench, so that seems obvious. I feel like, again, this side is actually really strong. I think if you take Europe away from this team, again, they would have been into that sort of top 8, but the effect it has is crazy as Trincao gets a goal, 1-0. Again, having this consistent tactic, and a tactic that definitely seems to work for me in this system, important. I think I didn't really value this system quite enough because it's the sort of thing that is a bit unconventional. When it doesn't work, you do feel a little bit like, do I need to return to convention? But the reality was that this system's actually pretty good. It does help when they don't really attack, and the players they're doing it with, they've made a change now. But Calvert-Lewin, Saka, and now Baglogun, not amazing. So I don't know if they're going to score, which is quite exciting. Hee-Chan is in so much space because the free kick taker played him onside. Lerner makes a save. That looked really weird. You got the ball in acres of space and probably should have scored. Trincao got the goal, forcing corners. Again, 12 minutes to go. We'll make a change, actually. Onyeka's having such a good game right now. I don't know if I really want to take him off. I guess Peter can come on instead for Hee-Chan, and we'll make that switch up top. Fresh legs, 10 minutes to go. Arsenal with a free kick, though. Is this their opportunity to get back into the game? It may well be. Winning it there would have been really, really strong. In fact, we have done. Gelhardt, lovely little bit of link-up play from here. And you can see the ball for Trincao. He's not played it. He might play Gelhardt instead. For his first goal for Leeds at a professional level. Oh, for heaven's sake. Definitely in the Premier League, actually. He may have played in a cup game and converted. But, that would have been his first Premier League goal. Trincao swings in the delivery. Not his best work. 5 minutes of added time to go. And it looks like we're going to round off the season. So us. This is so us. We finished 11th, which is not that bad. Our run-in at the end of the year was so good and was so strong. And I don't know, maybe the momentum that can carry forward from this into future seasons that I'm hoping you're going to enjoy. And again, I may well enjoy in future months to come. Hang on, where have we finished? I thought we finished 11th. We're actually finishing 12th. Okay, well, that's not as impressive all of a sudden. Phillips is out for a few days as well, but it doesn't really matter, does it? As that concludes the series, it's been good. Like, I have enjoyed it. I've just, there's two sides of it. There's the idea that I know I've got a big project coming up soon, and whether we take that into this, and knowing that the interest in Thames is going to be bigger than the interest in this, and it sort of falls away, and it becomes the B side to the A side, and I don't really like that. When I did last year, I did 2 series. We did Glory Hunter as well as the Tottenham series, and they sort of coexisted together for a long period of time, and there was a lot of people like enjoying both, and I felt the same about them. So it's a shame that I don't feel like we've had that with this. And again, this is sort of a lesson to me that being with those bigger sides early on actually allows you to have some quicker chances at success, and the series can have a little bit more longevity. The reality is, when you're a side that finished 12th in the Premier League, it's going to take a few more seasons and a few more years. And that's why we're stopping it, really. The long-termism of this save isn't going to be long enough, or it's going to go through Christmas and things like this, and it's going to become a mess. And I'm sorry that I feel like I've had to justify it for the whole episode. I think most of you probably get it. But yeah, thank you again for those that have watched it. If you have enjoyed the series, do drop a like on it. By all means, it lets me know that you did enjoy it, and you look forward to seeing something maybe similar to this in the future. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. As I say, loads of different projects coming soon. We had Draft Wars recently, the Haaland experiment, and of course Thames coming up very, very soon. We love with care. If you want to watch it until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.